Most men spend their lives believing comforting myths about women. Myths that sound polite, myths that feel safe, myths that protect the ego. And those myths cost them years, sometimes decades, before reality forces its way in. By the time many men finally understand what actually governs attraction, loyalty, and desire, the damage is already done. Relationships have failed. Trust has been misplaced. Leverage has been lost. What follows are not theories. These are patterns that repeat themselves relentlessly in real social environments. The kind of patterns you notice only when you stop listening to what women say and start watching what they do. Most men never do that. They listen, they rationalize, they hope, and they lose. These are the 12 brutal truths most men learn too late. Truth number 1: women cheat more than men. The first truth is the one men resist the hardest, not because it's false, but because it shatters the narrative they were raised on. Women cheat more than men. The reason has nothing to do with morality and everything to do with access. A man has to work to create opportunity. A woman doesn't. The moment she leaves her house, options appear. The moment she enters a social environment, those options multiply. Attention flows toward her without effort. Invitations arrive without asking. Validation is constant. Every time a woman enters a crowded social space, multiple men will approach her. Some will be confident. Some will be attractive. Some will be better than the man she's currently with in at least one category. That reality alone already tilts the playing field. And here's the part most men don't want to accept. Entertaining options is already halfway to betrayal. Messages get answered. Conversations get extended. Lines get crossed quietly, not dramatically. And when cheating happens, it rarely leaves evidence. Women don't get caught the way men do. They don't brag. They don't confess. They don't leave trails. Most men assume loyalty because they've never seen proof otherwise. That assumption is exactly why they stay blind. 2. Money doesn't create desire. Men are constantly told that money is the main thing women want. That belief leads to one of the most self-sabotaging behaviors possible: trying to buy attraction. Throwing money at a woman doesn't make her want you. It tells her you need her. And neediness is one of the fastest ways to destroy sexual interest. When a man leads with spending, buying drinks, ordering bottles, showing off, he's not demonstrating value. He's signaling compensation. He's communicating without words that he doesn't trust his presence to be enough. Women recognize this instantly. They'll accept the benefits without respecting the source. They'll take what's offered, then gravitate toward the man who didn't try to purchase their attention at all. Money becomes a tool women use, not a quality they're drawn to. The man with resources funds the night. The man with presence gets the desire. Men learn this too late, after realizing they were never the one she wanted, only the one who paid. 3. Female desire increases when other women want you. Jealousy is not the enemy of attraction. It's fuel for it. Women are far more responsive to a man when they see that other women desire him. This isn't about insecurity. It's about validation. When a woman witnesses another woman showing interest in you, her perception shifts. Suddenly, you're no longer just a man. You're a man with proof. This applies even inside relationships, especially inside relationships. A man who appears chosen, wanted, and capable of attracting alternatives is treated differently than a man who appears dependent and exclusive by default. When a woman believes she is your only option, she relaxes. When she senses competition, attention sharpens. Most men fear triggering jealousy because they're afraid of conflict. What they don't realize is that sexual energy thrives on tension. When jealousy appears, desire often follows. Not consciously, but viscerally. Women may deny this verbally, but their behavior tells the truth. 4. A small percentage of men dominate female attention. Another uncomfortable truth: most men are invisible. The majority of women focus their attention, desire, and intimacy on a small fraction of men. These men aren't necessarily the richest or the nicest. They're the ones who combine physical appeal, confidence, and social dominance. While average men struggle for responses, this top tier rotates through the same pool of women repeatedly. Men who don't understand this assume women are rare, selective, or unavailable. In reality, women are selective, but only after the top options are considered. This explains why so many men chase women who appear indifferent, while those same women eagerly pursue a different type of man. It's not coincidence, it's hierarchy. Once a man understands this, one realization becomes unavoidable. Bending over backwards doesn't increase attraction, it disqualifies you from it. 5. Physical presence matters more than personality early on. Personality doesn't open doors. Presence does. Before a word is spoken, women judge men physically. Body composition, posture, movement, facial structure, and energy all register instantly. Attraction begins or dies before conversation even starts. Men who neglect their physique often believe confidence or intelligence will compensate. It won't. Not initially. Attraction is primal first, logical second. When a man improves his physical condition, everything else starts working better. Eye contact lasts longer, reactions soften, interest appears where there was none. This isn't superficial, it's biological. Most men spend years trying to optimize tactics while ignoring the foundation. By the time they realize how much leverage physical presence provides, they regret the time wasted avoiding the obvious. 6. Eye contact is the first test, and most men fail it. Before words, before movement, before any approach, a woman tests a man with her eyes. Eye contact is not casual, it's a silent confrontation. When a woman locks eyes with a man, she's measuring composure, confidence, and internal stability. The moment a man looks away first, the message is sent. Hesitation, uncertainty, submission. Most men don't even realize they've already failed before they ever approach. They break eye contact instinctively, hoping not to be noticed, hoping not to be judged. That reaction alone disqualifies them. When a man holds eye contact calmly, without staring, without tension, he communicates dominance without saying a word. If she looks away first, the balance shifts. The interaction has already begun in his favor. This happens subconsciously. Women may not articulate it, but they feel it immediately. The eyes reveal what words try to hide. Men who master this stop fearing approaches. They already know the outcome before they move. 7. Serious energy repels attraction in social environments. One of the biggest mistakes men make in social settings is carrying heavy, rigid energy. A stiff posture, a closed face, a serious expression held too long. This signals pressure, expectation, and emotional weight, all of which women instinctively avoid. A man who looks tense appears unpredictable. A man who looks rigid appears unsafe. Lightness, on the other hand, disarms defenses. A relaxed smile, casual laughter, ease in movement. These cues signal emotional control and social intelligence. Women approach men who appear to be enjoying themselves, not men who look like they're hunting for validation. Too many men believe seriousness equals masculinity. In reality, controlled ease is far more powerful. Masculinity shows best when effort disappears. If a man can't generate relaxed energy in a social environment, he shouldn't be there. His presence alone will work against him. 8. Timing determines outcomes more than effort. Attraction has a window. Miss it, and it closes. When a woman gives access, whether through attention, conversation, or contact, that moment has momentum. Delay kills momentum. Hesitation cools interest. Men who wait too long mistake patience for strategy. In reality, they allow attraction to fade while other options step in. Attention shifts quickly. Energy disperses. The difference between success and failure often comes down to hours, not days. When interest is fresh, action matters. When it cools, effort looks desperate. Most men lose opportunities not because they did something wrong, but because they waited too long to do anything at all. Decisiveness preserves attraction. Indecision destroys it. 9. Validation is the fastest way to lose leverage. Attractive women are surrounded by validation. Compliments don't differentiate a man. They blend him into the background. When a man leads with praise, he places the woman above him instantly. He gives without challenge. He signals that her approval matters more than his standards. This dynamic kills intrigue. Women respond to men who don't rush to validate them. Men who don't chase approval. Men who treat attraction as mutual, not one-sided. A lack of validation creates curiosity. Curiosity creates engagement. Engagement creates attraction. The moment a woman feels she must earn interest, even slightly, the dynamic shifts. Most men talk too much, praise too soon, and reveal desire too early. By the time they realize the mistake, interest is already gone. 10. Asking too many questions signals neediness. Questions demand answers. Demands reveal investment. When a man fills an interaction with questions, he communicates dependence on the woman's responses. He positions her as the prize and himself as the applicant. This turns the interaction into an interview, and interviews are never seductive. Statements, observations, and assumptions create flow. They allow conversation without pressure. They invite participation instead of requesting permission. Men who talk at women often fail. Men who talk with women lead. The less a man needs answers, the more interest he generates. The more he appears complete without validation, the more attractive he becomes. Neediness doesn't announce itself loudly. It leaks through behavior. Questions are one of its clearest tells. 11. Masculine dominance must be felt, not explained. At some point in every interaction, a woman tests whether a man can lead without asking for permission. This isn't about aggression, it's about certainty. When a man constantly agrees, constantly adapts, constantly softens his position to avoid friction, he communicates instability. Agreement without backbone reads as weakness, not kindness. Masculine dominance shows through decisive movement, controlled touch, and calm authority. It's visible when a man guides rather than asks, when he changes locations without debate, when he sets the pace instead of waiting for approval. Women are biologically wired to respond to leadership. Not leadership spoken aloud, but leadership expressed through action. The man who waits for instructions loses ground. The man who takes initiative gains trust and desire. If dominance never appears, sexual tension fades. Without tension, attraction dies. 12. Physical fitness is not optional, it's foundational. One of the harshest truths is also one of the simplest. Women are not attracted to men who neglect their bodies. This isn't cruelty, it's instinct. A strong, lean physique signals discipline, health, and capability. Excess weight signals neglect, poor impulse control, and low self-respect. No amount of confidence can fully compensate for that contrast. Men who improve their bodies experience a shift that feels almost unfair. Attention increases. Reactions change. Women behave differently without explanation. Most men underestimate how much physical condition shapes social outcomes. They spend years adjusting tactics while ignoring the one variable that changes everything. Fitness doesn't guarantee success, but lack of it guarantees disadvantage. Most men don't fail because they lack information. They fail because they cling to comforting illusions long after reality contradicts them. They believe effort replaces value. They believe kindness replaces strength. They believe patience replaces decisiveness. And they learn, slowly, that attraction does not reward good intentions. It responds to strength, clarity, and presence. The men who succeed are not cruel. They are not manipulative. They are simply aligned with how attraction actually works, not how it's advertised. The tragedy is not that these truths are harsh. The tragedy is that most men learn them only after it's too late.